Chapter 21 The Future is Promising. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Man, being a fisherman ain't easy, said. Long Xiaoga shook his head, disagreeing, too dangerous. Whether it's demons or humans, both are deadly. Let's keep an eye out and wait for the right moment. Nodded, squinting. The fight between Yi Ju and the demon leader raged on. There were so many little demons, it was almost impossible to wipe them all out. But luckily, the terrain was narrow, making it hard to get surrounded. Even so, Yi Ju was covered in nasty wounds. Extract the wind blade special effect. Ding! Extraction successful. You've gained a permanent buff. Awesome. Yi Ju stood his ground, a wind blade sliced through the air, beheading the little demon in front of him. It was a special effect from a piece of equipment he'd picked up, and it was pretty sweet. Extract the big fireball special effect. Ding! Extraction successful. You've gained a permanent buff. Another weapon with a special effect vanished in Yi Ju's hand. He didn't even flinch. A massive fireball quickly formed in front of him. Boom! The little demons about to swarm him were blasted. They shrieked as the flames engulfed them. Extract the counter-injury special effect. Ding! Extraction successful. You've gained a permanent buff. Finally, Yi Ju triggered a counter-injury effect from his equipment. Counter-injury buff, 10% chance to injure the attacker, dealing 10% of the attacker's own damage. This buff stacks, adding 100% each time, up to a maximum of 1000%. Duration, permanent. Just as he'd guessed, counter-injury was a stackable buff. What was wild was that each stack added a whopping 100%. The future is looking bright. Yi Ju grinned. He could practically see it now. Some unlucky big demon would hit him and wind up killing himself. That would be priceless. Roar! The demon leader finally realized something was up. This human was getting bolder and bolder. And he didn't seem to be tiring at all. At this rate, his hundreds of little demons would be slaughtered in no time. Thanks for all the experience points. Look, I've already reached level 3. Yi Ju laughed. Thunderbolt buff, wind blade buff, fireball buff. He was constantly unleashing water, fire, and lightning, and because it was a buff, it didn't drain his energy at all. No matter how many little demons there were, they were no match for him. Talk about cheating. This was straight up cheating. He'd single-handedly taken down over 300 little demons. Dozens of pieces of equipment littered the ground. The luck was insane. Alright, pal, you're next. Yi Ju charged toward the demon leader. Killing it would give him enough experience to hit level 4. Just one level away from awakening. Roar! The demon leader roared back, not backing down, and lunged at Yi Ju, but it didn't stand a chance. Water, fire, and lightning spells rained down on it, one after the other. Finally, with a pathetic wail, it crashed to the ground. Boom! A golden box appeared. A gold box. I can't believe my luck. Yi Ju was ecstatic. Someone as usually chill as him getting this hyped meant this thing was something special. Yi Ju, it's been exactly 10 minutes. Are you done fighting? Li Lianxue finally dared to show her face. Perfect timing. Clean up this mess and grab all the equipment, Yi Ju said, then he stared at the golden box. Open it. Chapter 22 Get out of here. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding! Congratulations. You've snagged the only legendary demon blade blueprint, the Underworld Blade. Ding! Congrats, you scored a space bracelet. Ding! Congrats, you got a skill book. Underworld Blade. Yi Ju froze. No freaking way. I thought, it's the freaking Underworld Blade. One of the most legendary magic swords in the Wasteland, and I just got the blueprint. The blueprint showed a long, black blade, the black parts resembling solidified lava. The hilt had 4 sharp claws protecting the hand and a red gem inlaid in the center. Legend says, when this blade strikes, the shadow of the knife looks like a fiery red lava phantom. Details, stat. Legendary demon blade blueprint, Underworld Blade. Materials required, 0.5000 liters of demon blood. 10 flesh demon cores and 10 crystal demon cores. These materials will only create the blade's frame. To forge a real underworld blade, you need at least one demon heart. Crap, a demon heart. Yi Ju was taken aback. What even is a demon? Something that could kick my ass into next week without even trying. It's just a blade. The underworld blade in my past life was still just a blade, but it was crazy powerful and invincible. Yi Ju shook his head. Time to start collecting lemure blood. A small lemure only has about 5 liters in it. Collecting 5,000 liters would be a grind, but manageable. The problem was that the flesh and crystal demon cores directly conflicted with the awakening path he wanted to take. Looks like this is gonna take a while. Click. Yi Ju reached into the demon leader's chest and pulled out its core. A small lump appeared on his hand. Now he had 2 flesh demon cores. A space bracelet. Didn't expect that to drop. Yi Ju looked at the other item. This thing was crucial for anyone trying to survive in the Wasteland. You could stash all kinds of stuff in there for easy access. What loot could possibly make him that happy? Li Lianxue was curious, but she didn't want to bug him. Then, and Long Xiaogu stepped forward. Hey, man, first time meeting you. I'm Wu Jin, and this is my buddy, Long Xiaogu. Wu Jin was practically drooling. The equipment and items on the ground, even the skill books lying there, were so tempting. This battle might not wipe out all the demons in the school, but seeing Yi Ju's power made their own hunger for strength even worse. With all that gear, they could be just as strong as him. So, Wu Jin and Long Xiaogu decided to make a play. Wu Jin and Long Xiaogu. Yi Ju was surprised. These guys were future Wasteland heavy hitters. They didn't join any factions and carve out a huge rep in the Wasteland world with their own skills, but Yi Ju had heard about what they did to get there. Definitely not the kind of guys you wanted to cross. They'd wipe out an entire ranger base over a small disagreement. So vicious, they'd even kill kids if they felt threatened. Get lost. After a pause, Yi Ju said coldly, "Whoa." The scene went silent. No one expected Yi Ju to react that way. Wu Jin and Long Xiaogu froze, their faces red, veins popped out on their foreheads. Who would have guessed Yi Ju would be so disrespectful? You deaf? Get out of here. Yi Ju smirked. Chapter 23 Crazy Extraction of Buffs. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yeah, we got it, we remember you, Wu Jin snapped, spinning on his heel and stomping off. Long Xiaogu just shot Yi Ju a dirty look and followed. Oh, you remember me? Let me make sure you really remember me. The name's Yi Ju. He said with a chilling smile, and he went for it. He juiced up his buffs in a heartbeat, completely blowing Li Lianxue's mind. Then, wind blades and fireballs ripped into the shadows where the two had vanished. Instantly, a chorus of screams erupted. Boom, boom, boom. Followed by the sound of a hasty retreat. You'll be lucky to crawl away from that, Yi Ju scoffed. He wasn't killing them, though, not out of mercy. He was playing the long game. This world needed more firepower. With the demon leader gone, Yi Ju started scavenging the battlefield. The magic knife drawings were still hungry for blood, and the lesser and greater demons were drained dry in seconds, turning into shriveled husks. Then, it started. Red, pulsating waves began snaking up the blade outline on the drawing. Once the wave hit the tip, condition 1 would be met. Now, time to suck up those equipment buffs. Even the junk gear had decent sharpness and defense, plus, there was a bunch of blue level stuff scattered around too. Blue gear didn't have special effects, though, stuff like plus 10 energy or 0.1% extra damage. Tons of variations, of course. Yi Ju's system only cared about special effects. The fixed attribute blue stuff couldn't be converted into a buff, meaning he'd actually have to wear some gear. Extract the Yinlin breastplate special effect. Yi Ju commanded. The breastplate had a physical damage immunity effect that triggered when attacked. Right now, it was only 10% damage immunity. But every time he extracted it, it would jump 100%, up to a max of 1000%. And it wouldn't mess with his anti-damage buff, either. Not bad at all. Another skill book vanished into Yi Ju's hand, showering him with starlight. Mind Blast buff acquired. Description: any enemy who gets close to you for the first time gets their mind blown, rendering them unconscious. Gotta have that one, perfect for taking out mobs, Yi Ju muttered. Starlight Impact buff acquired. Description: when activated, your body charges with energy every 10 seconds and unleashes a shockwave dealing 120% of your own energy to everything around you. After snagging those 3 buffs, Yi Ju's fighting power went through the roof again, and on top of that, killing the demon leader had bumped him up to level 4. He was also halfway to leveling up again. The last piece of special effects gear turned out to be a pair of old-school helmet and goggles. They held the lair sensing ability Yi Ju had been hunting for. With that, he could pinpoint the location of enemy nests. Extract. Ding, extraction successful. Permanent nest perception buff acquired. Permanent nest perception buff. You can sense flesh layers and spiritual layers. Note, does not work on advanced layers. Awesome. Yi Ju clenched his fist, feeling like he could move mountains. Just one more skill book to extract, and he'd be set. Extract. Ding, extraction successful. Permanent group lightning strike buff acquired. Ding, your lightning strike technique has been replaced with group lightning strike technique. Permanent group lightning strike buff. You can summon lightning to punish enemies based on your judgment. Damage is calculated based on your level. Current upper limit, 100. Chapter 24 Invitation from Hell. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Keep stacking those group lightning strikes, up to 10,000. Normally, when someone uses group lightning, they only get one shot. It drains 100 energy points every second. A level 10 awaken can keep it going for 2 seconds, getting an extra 0.2 seconds per level. Energy takes forever to recover on its own, unless you've got gear or items that help you recharge, or you can just chug potions during a fight. Usually, awakened folks who know what they're doing carry around blue gear that boosts their energy, but here's the thing. For Yi Ju, group lightning is just a buff. He can use it however he wants, keep it running as long as he wants, zap anyone he decides is an enemy. Here, take all this gear. It's the best I can do for you. He said without emotion. Li Lianshue's jaw dropped, frozen in place. The school's safe from demons now. Yi Ju stated. Where are you going? Li Lianshue blurted out. Was Yi Ju trying to get rid of her? He was the one who dragged her along in the first place, now he's in a hurry to ditch her. Jerk, total jerk, she was floored. I'm heading to the demon's nest to wipe it out. After that, I'm out of here. Yi Ju looked her straight in the eye, and in that instant, Li Lianshue understood, she was a liability. A dead weight. She couldn't help but laugh bitterly at herself. The real Wasteland was waiting for her. She took the 5 pieces of equipment and items Yi Ju offered, after a moment. Yi Ju, I still want to thank you, for everything you've done for me. Li Lianshue said sincerely. For humanity. Yi Ju sighed, almost to himself. A minute later, Li Lianshue watched the direction Yi Ju disappeared, clenching her fist. She needed to get stronger, strong enough to stand beside him. Well, time to leave school. Sense the demon nest. Instantly, a pinpoint of light appeared in Yi Ju's mind. He sensed the demon's nest was underground. The first flesh nest. Now, where's the second one? Yi Ju focused on locating the second nest. After a pause, his eyes snapped open, one to the north, one to the south. Destroy the flesh nest first. Yi Ju reached the edge of the massive gash in the earth. He peered down. When you stare into the abyss stares back. Glimmers of blood red flickered in the darkness, like the eyes of countless demons watching him. Hell was beckoning. Yi Ju took a deep breath and started climbing down the jagged opening. He might not be able to die, but if he jumped, he'd definitely land in a pile of muck. And with his low-level healing ability, it would take forever to clean himself up. The front lines of hell have entrances, tunnels, and rivers to cross. The lowest demon dens live at the entrance to hell. The dense holes at the entrance to hell are like human hair follicles. Yi Ju recalled what he'd learned in his past life, knowledge bought with the lives of soldiers. Finally here. Yi Ju had been climbing for what felt like forever. he finally reached the entrance to hell. He paused on a jutting slab of rock. Below him were irregular holes, like a honeycomb, like a hair follicle. The demon's lair lay beneath. Just then, dozens of little lemurs crawled out of the holes and began scurrying along the rocks. Every flesh nest at the gates of hell is guarded by a greater demon. This one's no different. Yi Ju remained calm. He approached one of the holes. Suddenly, a wave of foul, fishy stench hit him. He jumped. He plunged into the flesh nest. The flesh nest was a maze of tunnels. The greater demon lurked deep inside. Its job: guard the corridors of hell and keep anything from crossing the river. Guga. A lemur elite spotted him. Chapter 25. The violent monster spawning trend appears. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This little lemur is the guard dog of the flesh lair, tougher than your average mutated runt. Guga, it spotted Yi Ju and went ballistic. It could sense it. This guy's energy was way stronger, and Yi Ju was only a level 4. The aura of a freshly minted level 4 human. Plus, the air reeked of blood. Blood that came from its own kind. It was freaking out. How many of its buddies had this human taken out? Its eyes burned with rage and confusion. Guga, it threw its head back and howled. A piercing screech ripped through the air. Boom. Lightning hammered it, dead center. It wobbled, nearly eating dirt, but instead, it just screamed louder, the sound even more shrill. Calling for backup, are we? Yi Ju's face was a stone mask. Boom. A massive fireball engulfed the lemur. Its dying shriek still echoed through the tunnels of the flesh nest. Guga. A frenzy erupted, the cries of countless lemurs rising from every direction. He'd stirred up the hornet's nest. Now he was facing an endless swarm of the little demons. Bring it on. I need more blood. Yi Ju growled. From every tunnel, a horde of lemurs charged. In seconds, Yi Ju was surrounded, locked in a kill box. There was no backing down. It was kill or be killed. The free-for-all was on. Yi Ju hit the incoming lemurs with a mind blast, freezing them in their tracks. Then, boom. A shockwave of starlight exploded outward from Yi Ju. Dozens of lemurs were hurled back. But that wasn't all. 100 lightning bolts rained from the sky, striking at random. Bang! 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 Now that's an explosion. Who would have thought someone would actually break into the devil's lair? What the army couldn't do, Yi Ju was doing. And he was still standing. He was tearing through the lemurs, and his experience points were skyrocketing. Guga. More lemurs poured in from all sides. They swarmed Yi Ju like a tidal wave. Boom. 10 seconds had passed, and the starlight impact was back online, centered on Yi Ju. The shockwave blasted outward again. Screech. Screech. Even more lemurs went flying. They roared, howled, and went berserk. In a flash, Yi Ju had the entire demon army pinned. They couldn't even get close. Roar. A lemur elite, braving the lightning, charged forward. But all it got was a face full of wind blades. It was instantly shredded. At the same time, wind blades whipped around Yi Ju, slicing through everything. Fireballs gathered, spitting flames in every direction. This was too much. Yi Ju's combo was insane. It was like an endless, free-to-play, XP farm. He didn't even have to lift a finger. He just stood there, watching the fireworks. Human. A deep voice echoed from the heart of the lair. The lemurs froze, their frenzy dying like a fading ember. Then, deep in the cave ahead, a towering shadow began to emerge, growing closer, shifting from small to massive. A great devil. It was slowly coming out. Finally decided to show your face, huh, big guy. Yi Ju narrowed his eyes. He estimated that this great devil was at least 70 feet tall. Definitely a heavyweight. Human, how dare you challenge me? It sounded like the whispers of ancient gods. The vague form of the great devil slowly came into focus. Chapter 26. Battle against the Big Devil. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This devil boss is seriously overpowered. And get this, it's as smart as a human. Archdemons guard the entrances to hell itself. You gotta cross the river to actually get into hell, but Yi Ju ain't trying to go to hell. Not yet, anyway. He's not strong enough, his level's too low, he hasn't even powered up yet. Yeah, all these monsters spawning looks wild, but it's just a bunch of weaklings. They couldn't even scratch a real demon in hell, so, without physical counter, magic counter, physical immunity, or magic immunity, Yi Ju ain't diving into the deep end. The demons down there, they're a whole different ballgame compared to this big guy. Human, you think you're better than me? Finally, the archdemon speaks. The thing's gotta be 80 feet tall. Its upper body's ripped like a bodybuilder, but humanoid, below the waist. It's all hairy hooves, 2 wicked black horns sprout from its head, wreathed in dark flames. Weirdly, it doesn't have wings, but it's got this massive demon blade strapped to its back. Instead, it's decked out in thick, black, horned armor that rattles when it moves. Less talk, more action. Yi Ju blasts it with a lightning bolt. The amped-up thunderbolt looks like a firefly compared to the archdemon. Boom. The archdemon roars, all pissed off. So thunder does something, but it's not exactly game-changing, and the black armor's way tougher than Yi Ju thought. Human. I'm gonna slice you up. The archdemon bellows. It draws that giant demon blade and swings it right at Yi Ju. Boom. All of Yi Ju's buffs hit the archdemon at once. They both go flying backwards. Yi Ju lands hard, blood soaking his shirt, but the wound's already starting to heal. The archdemon's in worse shape, covered in cuts. You gotta wonder how much longer that armor will hold, so, Yi Ju needs to keep chipping away at it, until the armor cracks. Human. The archdemon figures out Yi Ju's plan instantly. It wants to end this now. It roars and starts swinging even harder. Full buffs. Boom. The archdemon keeps hammering Yi Ju, and he keeps spitting up blood, but the dude just won't stay down. He gets back up every time. Human, why won't you die? The archdemon is floored. Never seen anything like it. Anyone else would be paced by now. Demon. Eat fire. The archdemon unleashes another crazy attack. Being an archdemon, it can control demon flames, and they don't disappoint, instantly engulfing and scorching Yi Ju. Is that all you got? Yi Ju just gets tougher the harder he's hit. Impossible, this, impossible. The archdemon howls. More and more cuts keep appearing, getting deeper and deeper. Wind blades, fireballs, lightning strikes, shockwaves, constant attacks. Sparks fly everywhere. It's like Yi Ju's a freaking net that won't stop buzzing around. Totally infuriating. The archdemon's flipping out. Its giant demon blade comes down on Yi Ju again. Boom. Yi Ju goes flying. Chapter 27. Don't come over. You are listening at novelfull.audio. No way. No way. The big demon finally shrieked, losing it completely. That last hit? That was its best shot. Its giant demon blade wreathed in hellfire. But the human got back on his feet. Huh? What the hell was going on? It couldn't wrap its head around it. Why wouldn't this obviously fragile human just die already? His body was practically shredded. Why? Why could he still stand? What was driving him? Faith? Did it have to crush his faith? The human race's belief in victory? From the start, the big demon never considered losing. It saw Yi Ju as the perfect appetizer for its tooth-sharpening ceremony tonight, but now? This guy was like a freaking cockroach. And another thing. Didn't those spells need juice to power them? He'd been hammering away non-stop since the get-go. Where did he get the nerve? The big demon finally realized it had lost its edge a while back. Yi Ju just kept at it, a relentless barrage of spells and buffs. Attack after attack. Constant bombardment. Finally, the big demon's black armor shattered, piece by piece. Wind blades sliced it, fireballs scorched it, lightning struck it every few seconds. Its body was a bloody mess. Damn it. I won't go down. The big demon turned tail and ran. It had to get away from this human. It had figured it out, create some distance, and those crazy attacks would stop. If you just made a run for it across the river to begin with, I really couldn't have done a damn thing to you, Yi Ju said, wiping blood from his face with a slight smile. Even though his body was a wreck, he chased after it with unwavering determination. Stay away. The big demon roared as it fled. Just gotta get across the river, gotta get across. But it didn't last. It finally crashed, making a gaping hole in its own lair. The roaring stopped for good, the most powerful being at the gates of hell, taken down by a human. Who'd believe it? No one would ever know. With its death, the entire flesh and blood lair began to collapse from the inside out. Yi Ju had done it. He'd wiped out a demon nest before passing out. A ton of loot and equipment poured into his space bracelet. Just before the lair completely caved in, Yi Ju scrambled out of the hellgate. He started climbing up the huge gash left by the demon knife. When he reached the surface, a hand reached down. Kid, you're one lucky son of a gun, falling like that and living to tell the tale. It was a soldier in a green uniform. He hauled Yi Ju up, then almost recoiled in shock. Twisted bones, shredded flesh. How was this even possible? Anyone else would be dead as a doornail. The will to live on this guy was insane. Get over here, get him to the tank. This man's a soldier. We call them demons. They live in underground lairs that we can't breach. We're trying to eliminate the demons that are popping up everywhere, no matter the cost, but demons keep pouring out of the lairs. There are too many of them, and they keep flooding into our cities. We have to announce that the situation is rapidly deteriorating, and we are evacuating the city. The loudspeaker on the tank blared. Our army was giving up on the city. The 10 million survivors had to be evacuated ASAP. It couldn't get any worse. Once the humans left, the land and cities would become a wasteland. Chapter 28. A miracle happened. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What the hell, are you kidding me? You brought me a corpse. That the medic in the camp was losing it. Every bed was taken. Tons of guys were stuck on plastic tarps on the ground. Orders are orders. Doc, you gotta do what you can. The soldier just shrugged. Fine. Dump him in that open space over there. I'll check back later to see if he's kicked it. The medic sighed. Alright, move him over there. The soldier nodded. A bit later, Yi Ju's eyes snapped open. The healing buff helped, sure, but the beating he took in that demon's lair was brutal. He really needed to chill for a few hours, so Yi Ju didn't fight it when they dragged him to some corner. As far as everyone else was concerned, he was a goner, but man, it was loud. People everywhere, everyone was hyped up. Yi Ju craned his neck to get a look. Soldiers were sprawled all over, hollering and moaning. Plenty were missing arms or legs. System, extract the mass regeneration special effect. Ding. Extraction complete. You have obtained a permanent buff, mass regeneration. Permanent mass regeneration buff. All injured individuals within range receive accelerated healing. This skill book dropped after that big demon bit the dust. Plus, there was that massive flesh and blood magic core. That thing had enough juice to sub for 2 regular ones, meaning he scored 4 flesh and blood magic cores. Taking down that big bad and wiping out the lair got Yi Ju to level 5 with maxed out XP. Now he needs 10 flesh and blood demon cores to awaken and become a mutant. But, it wasn't enough. Yi Ju still needed 9 crystal magic cores. He had to hit that spirit nest before the evac. He wasn't about to pass up a chance at those magic cores. 10 flesh and blood demon cores and 10 crystal demon cores give you a shot at becoming a special evolver. Yi Ju's fist clenched tight. He knew this from the future. Some kid had stumbled on it. The kid had become a special evolution super-powered mutant. Then the devils showed up, and he didn't even make it halfway. The kid died, but the power he showed was way beyond any other super-powered or mutant. People saw a glimmer of hope. Their kids could follow that path in the future. But then the devils came and the glimmer got swallowed by the dark, never got its chance. I have to awaken as a special evolver. Yi Ju sucked in a breath, become a special evolver, get those permanent buffs, and taking on the devils isn't just a pipe dream. About an hour crawled by. Yi Ju realized the exhaustion, the aches, the weakness, it was all gone. He was feeling good. That mass regeneration thing was no joke. What the hell? This is impossible. You should still be down for the count for a month, that the medic was flipping out, poking and prodding at some soldier's wounds. Ha! It's a miracle, Doc. A freaking miracle. That's right, God bless humanity. Help me up. I can still kill those devils. The healed-up warriors were shouting now. 1 minute they were crying and wailing, the next they were bouncing off the walls, ready to hunt some demons. Chapter 29 Mission Team. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The doctor reported the bizarre incident up the chain of command. Idiots. This is someone who got their hands on healing gear, and high-powered, large-scale stuff at that, the major's voice boomed. With this, our army can turn the tide against those devils. Find it. Find it for me. Here's the list. Get on it, the major barked. But, there is no list. People are dying and being processed every day. How could anyone possibly? The doctor looked bewildered. Damn it. We gotta find this equipment, no matter what, the major roared. The army was stretched thin trying to evacuate civilians, and casualties were through the roof. Morale was collapsing fast. Keep recruiting. Anyone with even a level 1 power boost, sign them up. The major barked into the microphone. The city was crawling with people who had manifested powers, and the army needed them, so tanks cruised the streets, loudspeakers blaring the call to arms. Yi Ju being sent here wasn't an accident. Even though he was disabled, he was still a recruit, and just like that, Yi Ju was drafted. Stick with them, it's the easiest way to score some blood. The army was a magnet. It was a prime target for the demons. Those tanks rolling down the street were practically daring them to attack. People with level 1 abilities were called new humans. It made sorting them from the ordinary folks easier. New humans could be thrown straight into the fray, their bodies had been boosted, and their energy powers unlocked. The military would hand out gear and weapons, too. They had so many demons to kill, military supplies were piling up. Of course, the real high-end stuff was reserved for second lieutenants and above. Yi Ju was crammed into a truck, sandwiched between escort tanks, and carted past military bases and refugee camps before finally rumbling into the ruins. Alright, you 4 new humans, your mission, rescue the survivors trapped in the Grand Theater. A stern-looking sergeant stood in the truck. His name was Dong Hu. How many demons are we expecting in the theater? A guy with glasses asked, adjusting his frames. This was Qing Xian, and he was clutching 2 wicked-looking short swords. They were blue-grade weapons, extremely sharp. Intel spotty. The theater's sealed off from the inside, so tread carefully, Dong Hu said. Great. No intel, Sarge. You're just throwing us into the meat grinder. A young guy with yellow hair scoffed. What's the matter, Yang Wenchao? Scared? The third voice, a woman, clearly knew him and shot him a mocking grin. Lay off, Su Ziyue. Why are you always on my case? Yang Wenchao snapped back, slapping the side of the truck. Knock it off, both of you. We need to work together on this one. Dong Hu barked, radiating military authority. Humph, Yang Wenchao muttered, turning away. Wait, Sergeant, you coming with us? Qing Xian asked, pushing up his glasses. That's right. We've arrived at the destination, let's go. Dong Hu spoke into the microphone, boom, star. The lead tank blew a gaping hole in the theater entrance. After a long pause, no demons emerged. We got a distress call. At least 100 survivors are still alive in there, Dong Hu said as he hopped out of the truck and cautiously entered the Grand Theater. The thick, fishy stench hit him like a wall. Chapter 30. Are you also a melee type? You are listening at novelfull.audio. What's with the stink? Yang Wenchao pinched his nose. Sergeant, this place is a total demon nest. You sure there are still people alive in here? Su Ziyue frowned. She'd seen these kinds of underground lairs before. Once demons took over, they secreted this black goop that totally warped the original buildings. Now, they were walking through circular tunnels coated in the stuff. That fishy smell was from it. Positive. Check the map. Dong Hu pulled it out, Yi Ju leaned in for a look. It was complicated, showing the theater's 3 floors, 2 above ground and 1 below. A red circle highlighted a spot on the bottom floor. That's where the survivors likely were. Hey, cripple, what are you staring at? Find something interesting. Yang Wenchao grumbled. He couldn't figure out why the army even bothered with a guy like him. Were they scraping the bottom of the barrel or something? They were supposed to be elite, and here was this newbie thrown in the mix. It was infuriating. The weak were just a burden. Demons always targeted the weakest link, forcing everyone else to protect them. Guys like that were cancer for the team. Yang Wenchao was convinced this cripple was just a pest. Yang Wenchao, show some respect, Su Ziyue snapped. Whoa, Su Ziyue, why are you always on my case? It's not my fault. Yang Wenchao stammered, his glare at Yi Ju turning even nastier, but Yi Ju was completely indifferent, ignoring him. To him, this hothead was just a nobody. He was focused on wiping out every demon in the theater. The fact that they'd built a nest here meant there was a powerful one lurking around, and a powerful demon meant a juicy demon core. Whatever, just you wait, Yang Wenchao muttered under his breath. Everyone, quiet down, Sergeant. Don't you have a plan? Qing Xian adjusted his glasses. Okay, we need to get through this, then this, and finally this. The sergeant quickly outlined their strategy. Great, I'm melee, so I'll take point, Qing Xian said, flashing the 2 daggers in his hands. Yeah, I'm melee too, and I need the XP. I'm almost level 3. Yang Wenchao pulled out a ridiculously large battle axe. It was a special drop from back when he cleared that bar dungeon, an axe with special effects. Bone Crusher attacks had a chance to shatter bones. Alright, you and Qing Xian take the lead. Su Ziyue, you and Yi Ju are more energy focused, so you'll support us from the center. I'll cover the rear, Dong Hu nodded. As for you. He hesitated, looking at Yi Ju. Just stick with Su Ziyue, protect her. Your file says you're melee, melee, Qing Xian couldn't help but glance at Yi Ju. With that limp, how could he be melee? Protect her. No problem, Yi Ju said with a smile, he didn't need the XP anyway. He was already maxed out at level 5. He wouldn't get any more until he awakened. Might as well let them do the work while he siphoned blood for the Huangquan knife drawing. Normally, wiping out a demon nest was worth 5,000 liters of demon blood, but last time, he didn't have time to suck the blood from the drawing before the nest collapsed. Plus, besides the group heal skill book, the big demon had dropped something else.